back in prison, guys. Hello, Grizzlies. Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K. And today, this live stream is really just a debrief of this case. We are live. If the slow mode bothers you guys, I'm going to watch the numbers. If this is not like a crazy live stream like it has been for the last few days, I'll take slow mode off. I just thought I'd be rather safe than sorry, you know? My snarky self. I've been a little bit snarky, huh? Yeah, we're back in prison, guys. I was actually looking, do I have anything orange to wear? And one would think I did, because I live in the Netherlands. National colors orange. And I was like, surely I have something. Literally nothing. I was going to wear my orange suit because we're back in prison. This case has been a wild ride. It's been exhausting as well. My word, this was like, there was so much to cover all the time. And even today, we've got new things to look at, which I've, of course, prepared some videos for you. We've got the press conference that happened today. And instead of fumbling around, with links and trying to find what, I rather just watched it. I took some notes. And then what I've done is put it in my video editor and boosted the sound as much as possible. I still think the questions are very, very quiet. I found the best quality sound I possibly could. And then I boosted it. But those questions, man, questions at press conferences. Oh, my word. Yes. Oh, yeah, it's mostly over. So for those of you who have not watched anything about this case, I did a full timeline video for you today, which I really hope you had a look at. If you didn't, please go give it some love after this, because I worked my butt off on it to make sure that you have from A to B, what happened, where, when, what, all that. So yes, I hope that you checked it out. And if not, I hope you will. All right. Loving your coverage of this crazy case. Thank you so much. I'm looking at the chat, and so far it's not crazy yet. So what I'm going to do is take slow mode off for now. And if there's any emergency, I'll just put it back on so that you guys can chat away. Thank you so much, Linda. Yes, I worked all day on that. I think I've had about 2 hours of sleep in the last, 36 hours, it feels like. So yes, if my brain seems a little foggy today, just know why. I need those coffees. Thank you for everyone who bought me a coffee. And also thank you to April for sending me the $100. Last night, I talked about it. It was on PayPal, and I didn't see the message, but today I saw it, and it was specifically for a better VPN. So yes, I've signed up for a much better, much faster VPN that can actually cope with my streams. I don't have it activated for this stream yet because I'm like, ooh, I'm not going to chance it. I first just want to test it out a little bit, but it seems like it's going to be really good. Okay, I know. Lisa, this car wash thing bothers... That really bothers me. Not only we're going to get into it all, but checking into a motel for 14 days. And according to Brian Enton's, one of his latest tweets, apparently Casey and Vicky didn't check themselves in. They got someone else, a local guy, to check them in. For 14 days. I mean, was this just a honeymoon? I know. We're going to talk about Casey White saying, oh, my wife shot herself. I think he's saying that just so that he can do the whole insanity plea thing, so that he can show how delusional he is, because they weren't married. The sheriff and investigators are like, they're not married, but of course they're looking into everything. Yes, they wanted to make love for 2 weeks. That's what I'm thinking. Yes, Jen Lu, thank you for kicking off those super stickers. Thank you so much for your 99-pound super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. Now let's have a look at this video that I prepared for you here. I'm going to make myself smaller. Now, this is video footage, and you must see how freaking shady Casey White is. He's so shady how he walks around. Of course, these windows are super tinted. They've now said, remember, hold on, this is distracting me. It's so bright orange, Robert. Perfect color. Perfect for back in prison. Thank you so much for your $20 super sticker. You said you've done such a fantastic job covering this case. Enjoy. Oh, my word. Thank you so much. And you're so sweet. You're a VIP member. You're a patron. Here's a super sticker, a moderator. Damn. Thank you so much. Okay. So when we look at this, apparently they bought this car when they ran the plates. and the car was not reported as a stolen vehicle. Remember, the police said, oh, it's not a stolen vehicle. We can't do anything about this. Then the US Marshal said, yeah, well, they just didn't know it was stolen yet. However, from the press conference, I understand today, they bought this vehicle for approximately $6,000 in Tennessee. How weird is that? I also find that very strange. Like when their first Ford broke down, I'm trying to get in their minds now. I'm like, so the Ford broke down, and then it's like, let's try spray paint it. Right. Okay. Interesting. And then what? Run off, walk off? Where are you going? To buy another vehicle? It's just so weird. Anyway, so thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. So look at this.
Yeah, it's sticking out today. That's what draw my attention to it. I always come over and when I see.
Can you play it with him walking out again?
Yeah.
This guy needs the reward.
I'm not sure. Let's see. There he is right there. He's standing in between the doors. He's fooling with the gun right there. I think he's taking a leak at first when I seen this, but I see him sticking in his waistband.
He's looking around suspicious.
Yeah. Don't you think that's suspicious? When he walks this way is when I seen that tattoo on his arm, and I knew that's who it was then. Because I pulled it up on my phone, and he's only got tattoos on one arm.
This guy absolutely should get the reward, right?
So what do you think he's doing there? Still messing with the gun?
Probably love.
I'm just going to pause it for a second. Rochelle Pranzo, welcome. Welcome to the Pranzos. How is it possible that they bought those cars with cash and no one thought it was suspicious? And how did they not recognize the two of them? I mean, apparently, Vicky had several wigs. Okay, she had a wig collection. I mean, I have a wig collection too, but she had a wig collection of, they said blonde and reddish blonde. I'm like, red and blonde or what? Like, can you imagine her buying a blonde wig? What's the point of that? Oh my word, there's no logic in anything they did. Like, none at all. None at all. Love Shack. Exactly, Patty girl. Thank you so much for your $9.99 super sticker. I think this is where their focus went, is that Love Shack. Now watch Casey. I mean, how odd is it that he's between the two doors like that? As if you couldn't look more suspicious. What up, Claire? I mean, and now look at him.
Oh, here he comes.
And I say he's going to walk that way to see if he's coming yet. Then he's going to walk back in there and shut the other door. Then he's going to walk toward us. Look at his arm right there. That's when I knew it was him. See that tattoo at 9 on that one arm? And you could see him in the tailgate.
Yeah.
I mean, there he stands now. You could see him in the tailgate. That's crazy. Welcome, Brandy. Good job. Good job. They had to wash the truck. Why? It's actually just leaving the truck here. Someone was saying it's actually really easy to steal a car this way, to like leave one in the parking bay and then take another one from another wash area. But this car wash is not big. We're going to look at it with a little Google man, okay? And then you'll see it's like, when I looked at it today with a little Google man, I was like, whoa, Street View, that makes it look even smaller. I know Brian Enton's also been there, but I was like, looking at it, I'm like, it looks so much smaller than one might think. I mean, what were they doing? Why is he pretending, or is he even washing the car here? I don't know. It's just very, very strange. Yeah, watch, if you're late, you're rolling in now, you haven't missed too much yet, just watch it at 1.5 speed and you'll catch up in no time. Yeah, nobody would find me with all my wigs. They really wouldn't. I have many different looks.
He's going to walk up right here in a minute. He's probably going to need an hour.
Can you believe it? Okay, now we're going to look at the much anticipated. Everyone's been messaging me and asking me, what about a lot of the comments are also about, what about the scene of where they were chasing them down? Now, please know, there are a variety of clips all over the internet. So I had to go and find them everywhere. So guess what I was doing all day? Because there's not that many bystanders there. There's not that many people filming it, uploading it, but there are quite a few clips and I put it together. These first two now don't have sound, so I added some music, and then afterwards there's some with sound. Okay, so just look carefully and look how many cars there really were. It wasn't like a vehicle or two chasing them. This was hectic. I'm going to pause it here for a second because you can actually see them arrest Casey right there. And I want to answer Brenda. Brenda says, and they supposedly only had $29,000 left of the $95,000. See, the $95,000 is assumed because of her house sale. And I know she withdrew about, they said, approximately $90K from different bank accounts. But I wonder how much she saved up over time, because when we looked at the listing of the house, it seems like she owed something like $72,000 on the mortgage, and then after processing fees and everything, she might have only walked away with like just less than $6,000. So I'm thinking about that, but they did say, which I would like to confirm, that she withdrew over $90K from various bank accounts. So that is interesting. And yeah, only $29,000 left. I mean, the one truck was around $6,000. Even if the other one was $5,000, then that's 11. So that would take us to 40. So what happened to the rest? They had a lot. They had a whole arsenal of weapons as well. So I don't know. They booked a motel for 14 nights, a 2.5-star motel. Oh my word. Okay, let's continue on. Look closely. I know the footage isn't great. This is the very best I could do. This is what's available. Said she shot herself almost immediately. Look at him. Look, I'm going to pause. There, you can see in the middle of the screen, you can see this very tall guy in what appears to be, what is that, a white vest? What is he wearing here? Do you know at what point she shot herself? They said at the press conference, which we'll look at as well, almost immediately. So yes. So watch there. You can just see him there in the background.
Live on scene, Highway 41 and Birch Drive.
Okay, we're going to watch more of this now. You guys better get your Grizzly notebooks and start taking notes. Janie's child said, somewhere I read that there was 70K mortgage balance. We literally looked at it, I think, about 3 episodes ago. I had a whole presentation that included the house, the mortgage, like how much she owed, according to the listing, how much, when it was auctioned and all of that. So apparently there was a 70K mortgage balance, allegedly. So she didn't walk away with too much, if that's true. So she must have saved up over time because, as her former mother-in-law said, she was very frugal. She did save a lot. So she could have saved the money that they were running around with for quite some time.
5 Adam 50. When we could hear her on the line saying she had her finger on the trigger.
Yes, we were live when
And field off Baumgart and Birch. Shot victim. Female is still armed. Male apparently has shot himself. Female still armed.
I'm not even going to apologize for all interruptions because I've got things to tell you. So Kathleen Strickler says she called and told them. Yes, apparently she called 911 and said that she's got her finger on the trigger. When they said that the male shot himself, that was what they initially reported. But apparently she shot herself and the bullet that went through her grazed him. Apparently he did not shoot himself. I don't know. That's what I've now read today when I looked at the updates of that. So let me know if you know anything different, but that's what I found out today. So let's continue. Thank you, Chris.
41, then east on the Birch.
Hey, Lieutenant Peter Pronzo.
Further traffic's going to be on TAC 5.
One law enforcement vehicle. Two patients at this moment.
Okay, so this is the press conference that happened today. As I said, I've taken it and boosted the sound as much as possible. There's a lot of information to unpack here, which is why this is important to look at. So we've looked at the car wash footage. We've looked at the car chase footage as well. What we have, of course, we'd love to have body cam footage and dash cam footage and all that. I mean, maybe at some point they'll release it. I don't know. And now we're going to look at the press conference that happened today to see what we learn. And there is a lot to learn here. Just to give you a quick, I'll give you a quick overview of what we can expect to learn here. Apparently, they bought the the Ford F-150. They had about $29,000 in cash left. They showed us pictures as well, which we'll look at. She had multiple wigs. They paid for 14 nights at the motel. They are not married, and they don't believe that Casey shot Vicky, but we're waiting for the autopsy results to really confirm that. They had an arsenal of weapons inside the car, which they also showed us a picture of. It's a lot more than we thought. There's 5 or more guns from what I saw. Their plan was faulty and their plan failed, is what the sheriff said. Apparently, Casey did not express any remorse for her death. So I'm just giving you the bullet points that I've written down here just so that you know and you can listen even more carefully. They did not find any substantial drugs to report, so I think that was interesting too. The vehicle being flipped on its side like that is what disrupted this shootout plan that Casey had, because Casey said if the police catch him, he's going to have a shootout. And that's what he planned to do. Okay, so let's continue here. She apparently shot herself almost immedially. They stayed at this Motel 41. We're going to look at it as well. And I believe Brian Enton's going live as well on the hour. So we'll see what he's got to say. They bought the F-150 for approximately $6,000 in Tennessee when they had escaped shortly after they'd escaped, apparently. The investigation is expected to go on for a number of weeks. There are U.S. Marshals, the Indiana State Police, the Evansville Police, Van Berg Police, law enforcement from Alabama, Tennessee, the FBI, and everyone has been involved in this. And when people asked what kind of wigs did she have, he said reddish and blonde wigs, a whole variety of wigs. So that's kind of what you can expect. So now we can just listen very carefully. For those who don't know, of course, we're looking at the case of Vicky White, a corrections officer, assistant director, actually, that helped an inmate escape. And sadly, after this manhunt, an 11-day manhunt, they were found. The U.S. Marshals chased them down. We just looked at the chase footage and everything. The car was flipped on its side, and then Vicky decided to shoot herself. Sadly, she's succumbed to her injuries and she has died. I know some people are not at all sad about that. I understand. But she has died. I think it's sad because then there's no justice. We can't hear her side of the story. And I'm pretty sure Casey's going to make up quite a few things. You know, that's what sucks. Anyway, and now Casey is, rearrested. He's going to be extradited back to Alabama, probably be put back there where he escaped from, and then wait for the trial in June. Yes, I'm thinking that the adult store, because you guys know I'm super curious. What did they buy at the adult store? What did she buy? I'm thinking it's the wigs. That's what I think. I don't know what else, but I'm thinking it's the wigs. So now let's look at this.
Well, good morning. We'll start this conference quickly here. We introduced what had happened over the last 24 hours. I'd like to introduce people who've been involved in this since yesterday, and that's Gabe Guerrero. He's the Great Lakes Task Force Deputy Commander. Southern Indiana U.S. Marshal Dan McClan. Steve Lockyer, our coroner. Chief Billy Bolin. Assistant Chief Phil Smith. And ISP Justin Bean, who's part of our task force. As everybody knows, we're here today because we were seeking out this particular fugitive from Alabama who had been in on a capital murder offense and had been in Evansville for approximately 1 week. We were fortunate to have cooperation from law enforcement from Alabama, Mississippi, our U.S. Marshal Task Force, which is comprised of members of the Sheriff's Office, the Indiana State Police, and the Evansville Police Department, and the U.S. Marshal Service. Because of all the resources, we received a lot of tips. We got some good surveillance videos that showed a pickup truck that had been left at a car wash, and then a subsequent vehicle that they took and escaped in from the car wash, which was a Cadillac. We recently found out that they'd been staying at a hotel down the road here. It used to be a Motel 6, and now I think it's changed names. And they had a 14-day stay there.
Pause. A 14-day stay. So I pause, and then we talk about it. A 14-day stay. I know I'm quite small here. Sorry. Let me just see if this works. Okay. That might work a little bit better, right? 14-day stay. To me, if the primary motive was to be on the run, then why would they only be on the run for 4 days and then sit in a hotel for 6? You know what I mean? To me, it just seems like buying the men's clothing, buying the stuff at the adult store, which could have just been wigs, we never know, and then chilling kind of at a motel is just either you don't realize it's 2022 and how viral these cases can go and how much information can spread, and that people are literally you can't just lie low. People are going to be looking for you. To also think of all the surveillance footage everywhere, like leaving the F-150 at the car wash and then Vicky picks him up in the Cadillac. I mean, all the police had to do was drive around the area, find the Cadillac, and then kind of do a stakeout and wait for them to come out. That's literally what happened. So crazy. But it just seems to me like the drive was to hook up, to get together. I don't know. It just seems like, oh, we'll just stay here for 14 days and chill out in the room together. I mean, what? Karen Broderick, welcome to membership. Thank you for supporting the channel. 14 days.
We were fortunate that during our investigation yesterday, an Evansville police officer who was just doing his good diligence of patrolling and being smart noticed the vehicle in the parking lot of the hotel and notified us immediately.
But yes, James should get a lot of credit, the car wash guy, because he notified everyone way before, and they didn't take him very seriously. Also, believe it or not, the motel was across the road from the sheriff's department. Like, do they think they're in a movie? What kind of movie is this? Seriously, I'm sorry to be like snarky now, but Dumb and Dumber is a Dumb and Dumber. Where are they? What are they doing? Like, I know what's so clever. Let's stay right across from the sheriff's department. I mean, you could see it from there. That's crazy. What?
The task force members got together. They drove down there, set up surveillance on the hotel, Soon thereafter, the two suspects exited the hotel and fled out of the hotel parking lot northbound on US Highway 41, turned in at an industry known as Anchor here in Evansville. They went through the parking lot, went through a grass field. The members of the U.S. task force basically rammed the vehicle and pushed it into a ditch. And we later found out, had they not done that, the fugitive was going to engage in a shootout with law enforcement.
See, that was his plan. Had they not actually rammed that vehicle and had it not tipped over into a ditch, Casey was ready for a complete shootout. And he did express allegedly that he thought, yeah, Vicky's going to lose her life, and so was he. He's going to go all out on a shootout. That's scary, which just shows from the beginning, of course, we know this, that he had no regard for her whatsoever. What a thing that he's the one that's still alive right now, you know, and she lost her life. Now I saw a comment there saying, how could she drive the vehicle, shoot herself and all of that and make the phone call and everything? But the thing is, if she was driving the vehicle, because I know there's conflicting reports. I saw Ashley Banfield was actually trying to confirm now, which one is it? Did he drive? Did she drive? Because there really are conflicting reports about that from people who were there. So I still don't know exactly, but wait, I'm thinking which side. I'm just thinking of that if you looked at the timeline I made today, there's that picture with there's like blood on the one window, which was on the right-hand side. So maybe he was driving. I don't know. But the thing is, when the car had crashed and come to a rest on its side, she had like her, what do you call that? Like a holster, right? Because they showed the picture of all the whole arsenal of weapons that they had. It would have been pretty easy to grab her gun. She probably had it on her all the time, even out of habit. You know, and then she called 911 and then said she's got a finger on the trigger. And maybe she did that, as Stephanie said just now, so that there would be no question that she shot herself and not that Casey shot her. I don't know why she would do that. Meaning, you see, that's my point. She has more regard for him, even in the last moments of her life, than he'll ever have for any human being, it seems. Yeah, she shot herself like right after the crash.
So by our quick thinking, our actions, sometimes people may call that unnecessary action, but that action.
Sorry, Deborah, there are two conflicting reports between the U.S. Marshals and the sheriff and then bystanders. It's just confusing to know exactly. It would make more sense to me that he was driving, although he might have been really out of practice. So,
may have saved many of my deputies and fellow law enforcement officers' lives. And that's why I represent the sheriff's office. I want to bring my people home, and I don't care about the fugitives' lives.
Wow. She unalived herself right after the crash. Like, pretty much soon after the crash, she unalived herself. She apparently called 911, said she's got a finger on the trigger, and then unalived herself. Mods, please let me know if you want me to slow down the chat, if it's getting too fast.
If it protects my people's lives. And here I commend them for a job well done. They knew they were going up against a dangerous felon, a murderer, and we have photos of the weapons that were located in the vehicle. There were at least 4 handguns, semi-automatics, 9mm, and this is known as AR-15, which shoots a .223.
Look at all those weapons they had. My word. That's why I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least. And here's this, what I'm talking about, this holster thing. Here's another one, 6. So maybe 7. It's so hectic. Oh my word. Yes, the Alabama sheriff said that he was driving, and the U.S. Marshal said that she was driving. That's the problem. We don't know exactly which one now.
Caliber round, so any one of these weapons
Yes.
could have been used to ambush our officers while they were attempting to capture a murder suspect. So I commend them for the quick and aggressive action. It probably saved a lot of chaos by doing quick action there. Once the vehicle crashed, the female suspect shot herself. The male suspect gave up when we approached the vehicle. They were both taken out of the vehicle. Life-saving measures was attempted on the female, but she...
See, life-saving measures was attempted on the female, and apparently I can see, where's this message now? Bill, apparently she shot herself in the head, not in the stomach. So I don't know. Yesterday I also thought it was in the stomach. That made absolutely no sense to me. Like, why would someone do that? Intentionally, yes. And like, whoa, that's quite... But apparently, and the blood on the side of the window kind of confirms, in a way, that it would be shooting. I'm trying to say these words very carefully. Herself in the head. Yes. I don't know what happened to that shotgun.
Grave injury and subsequently
head.
Died at the hospital last night.
Yes.
We interviewed the suspect for quite some time. I don't want to get into all the details of that because some of that may be used against him, but we have him presently in our Vanderbilt County Jail. He signed a waiver of extradition to go back to Alabama. I've notified the sheriff there, and they are going to make arrangements to pick the suspect up and return him to the state of Alabama. Due to safety and security measures, we won't be divulging that to you. It won't be a public spectacle. When he leaves, he'll go out a hidden exit, and it won't be for public display. So we won't divulge the date and time when the Alabama authorities take the prisoner back to Alabama. Once again, I can't shout out enough praise to all the law enforcement here in our community for the hard work that they do. The task force, I was asked by a member of the media this morning if this was like an odd occurrence, and it's certainly not an odd occurrence. We arrest dangerous felon subjects every single week. We've been involved in multiple shootings in this community. We've shot people, we've been shot at. So this is law enforcement. This is today's law enforcement. It's a very dangerous occupation. So I hope the public realizes what we do is dangerous, and we have to take action to protect ourselves so each and every one of these fine men and women go home to their family and their loved ones, and we don't let the criminal win the war.
He's very passive-aggressive, which I think comes with the job, right? His first reaction was, I didn't shoot her, she shot herself, and not, oh my God, help Vicky, she shot. Exactly. Again, it just shows what a psychopath he really is, right? I don't want to just throw words like that around, but he has no regard for anyone else but himself, pretty much. Yes, okay.
So I appreciate you being here. That pretty well wraps up what I have to say. We have multiple members here. If anybody wants to add to what I said, you're welcome to do that. Or if anybody has questions they want to ask off this, go ahead. Yes, sir.
2 questions, Sheriff. First of all, we know that Vicky White had $90,000 in cash with her. Have you located that money?
Yeah.
That's Brian Enton, everybody. Have you located the money? And now they're going to show us a picture of the money that they had left, which is about $29,000, which is, it's a bit odd. Please explain to us why they were, in the middle of Evansville from May 3rd until May 9th, and you had no clue, even with tips from the car wash guy. Even he's like, hello, the car's right here. I saw the guy. I've got him on surveillance. Exactly.
We got a photo. They had about $29,000 left over. Here's a picture of the money that was left in the vehicle that we counted last night after we inventoried the vehicles.
Second question, sir. James, the owner of, or the manager of the car wash who first called police about the truck, will he be receiving?
It's not that much that they had left, huh? So they weren't going to be on the run for like 3 years. Clearly they were going to, I don't know, they had no plan. I saw some stuff on Facebook saying that, oh my word, Casey White was trying to get out of prison to donate a kidney to his sister, and Vicky was just trying to help him. And I'm like, what is going on in this chat thread? I don't think that would be true, because that's not how the kidney donation thing really works. But anyway, just letting you know, that's what I've read on Facebook today. Like, what? I don't think that has anything to do with it. And I'm mentioning it now because they do ask this sheriff, like, why do you think they were there, or why were they hanging out there? And he answers in a way that kind of debunks that.
The $25,000 reward.
Now, I don't know anything about the reward money, personally.
I know that's horrible.
Seems like he sort of solved it.
Yeah, and I don't know what, but that would be something that we'll deal with. Right now, that's...
Oh, Brian Enton, he's on it. He's just like, will James be getting the reward? And he's like, I don't know, that's not on our priority list basically right now. It's not like he's saying it's not really what we're thinking about right now. He's like, well, yeah, he pretty much solved it. And then look.
Not on her
How did they
radar.
get the F-150 and the Cadillac?
What's that?
How did they get the F-150 and the Cadillac?
They purchased the F-150 and drove it here. And where they got the Cadillac, I'm not sure at this moment.
What they were doing here for?
Well, I think he said that he was just trying to find a place to hide out and lay low. And they thought, they'd driven long enough that they wanted to stop for a while.
See, there's that answer. That's why I mentioned that, because it's like, well, they just wanted to lay low and just like they've driven enough, which is hardly. Well, look at the map again. They don't drive all that much. What the heck? I mean, aren't Americans known? Am I generalizing? You guys are known to drive a lot, like cross country. You guys drive. Nothing is too far for you. These people are like driving 4 or 5 hours and they're like, I'm done. We need a 14-day rest. What?
Their bearing straight and then figure out their next place to travel.
Do you get any indication that they were visiting anyone potentially at this hotel?
No, we don't.
See, that question was very soft. Is there anyone that they were visiting, anyone that they were meeting up with? He says no.
I don't believe they have any relatives, friends, or acquaintances in Evansville, Vanderbilt County.
Is there any dash or body camera video of the incidents yesterday?
There may be some dash or body camera video. We haven't got that far yet for examining and releasing that.
What about surveillance from the motel?
And there may be, but like I said, that's a lot further into our investigation.
Damn, Bill.
Called apparently on Tuesday to report not only that truck, but also that he'd seen images of Casey White with tattoos on his arm and was told.
They're talking about James again. I love it how they keep the pressure on with James. He doesn't look too impressed about it, which I don't know why. Stefan says, this sheriff really motivates people to help law enforcement. I know, right? He's like, really encourages people to. I mean, don't you just feel like calling in a tip right now?
Told, there's nothing we can do right now. It's not reported as a stolen vehicle. Those were his words. Why did it take so long to get a response?
Okay. Well, here, I'll let the police chief answer that.
So I'll back up just a little bit. On May 2nd, we had an officer on the evening of May 2nd proactively driving through lots, and he was running plates just to see if they were stolen. He actually was the first one to run this plate on the evening of May 2nd, and it didn't come back stolen, didn't return anything. On May 4th, we got the call to the car wash, and the first officer went out, and the caller was not on scene when the officer was there. We do have body camera footage of the officer running the plate, looking in the car. He ran the VIN number, and then he left because it was an abandoned vehicle that we can't tow that. It would have to be 48 hours at the owner's request of a place before we can tow it off private property. But the owner of a residence can choose to have it towed on their own. He called back a couple hours later and had not seen the officer on scene, so we sent another officer back out, met with him. The second officer that went out also ran the info and explained the process to him, that we would have to wait 48 hours before we could tow it, but if he wanted to tow it on his own, he could. And that's when they towed the vehicle, was on May 4th after that second run. From everything we've seen, there was no mention that this was connected to Alabama. On the 911 Gives Hope, or 911 audio, there was no mention that it was connected to Alabama. So at that point last week, there was no tie at all to this being involved with anything out of state. There was no mention to it being connected with them. So
I think the word national manhunt would imply that it could be connected out of state. And when someone said, I think I saw Casey White, like literally in the car wash, here's the footage, I've got it all. He matches the tattoos. He's got the same height, same ears, same moves, moves and moves. Everything, same stance. Okay. Excuses a little bit, hey?
it was just an abandoned vehicle for us at that point.
Why he stopped at the car wash?
No, there's no reason. He just happened to pull in there. I think he's going to try to ditch the vehicle there.
By the 14-day stay, they were only gone for about 11 days, but you said a 14-day.
He had paid for 14 days to stay at the hotel. What's that? Yes.
Sheriff, did he give you any sense of an end game? Did they have somewhere they were headed?
Say that again?
Did he give you any sense of an end game, a place that they
Did he give you any sense of an end game? Like, where were they headed? What was the plan?
were headed to?
No. No, they said they were just trying to contemplate where they could go and kind of be discreetly away from the public's eye.
Sheriff, I was in this area.
Wigs. They had multiple wigs.
Sheriff, presumably he was in this area since, or they were in this area presumably since May 3rd, almost a week. What other interactions have you been able to trace? If they were here that long, surely there were other businesses or whatever that they would have.
Well, to that point, just like yesterday, there's hundreds of tips that come in. Someone claims they've seen the suspects, but we've had people claim they saw them in Richmond, Indiana, and we just go through every single tip. But from my standpoint, we've got the case solved. We've got a person deceased.
People that have this much dormant rage make me nervous. You know, I could just feel his anger underneath it, just like boiling. My word, wigs. Yes, she had wigs, a variety of wigs. Is there any question you can answer? Well,
We have another person in custody heading back
defensive.
to Alabama. That's my concern.
When we hear that when he was getting pulled out, when he was coming out of the car, he said, "My wife is dead and I didn't do it." Do we know if that's true, and were they married?
They were not married. They shared the same last name. And our preliminary investigation, we don't believe he shot her. But once the coroner examines the body through a pathology, he can make a determination of that.
Sheriff, how do you know that he was?
So why do you guys think when he got out of the car, he said, she shot herself, I didn't do it. But he said, my wife shot herself. I didn't do it. Like, why do you think he would say that? I already gave you my thought on it, why I think he would do that. I mean, I think he's going to go the delusional insanity route and actually maybe go for one of those mental health evaluations again and be like, yep. I think he's going to try to manipulate as usual. That's what he does. But why do you think? You're like, because he's a nutcase. This officer wants the $29,000 for his retirement fund. The blood spatter could be determined. Let's see. The blood spatter could be determined immediately. Yep. Delusional. Could be. It could actually be delusional. Could be. Did you ever find out? There's no way that I could confirm that 100%. But it is interesting. If Casey was really Vicky's nephew, that would be very interesting. And there's a lot of interesting theories going around. I mean, damn, go to Reddit too. We got a Grizzly True Crime Reddit as well. But if you go to Reddit, oh my word, Reddit and Facebook and things, you're like, whoa, you could spend all day in that rabbit hole. I don't even know if it's a rabbit hole. It's another kind of creature. You're like, I'm in the hole. I'm in the burrow. I don't know where I am. Just so many theories going on. Oh my word.
Aiming Casey White to have some sort of violent confrontation with police. Obviously, you showed that arsenal of weapons that was inside the car. Did he express in your interviews with Casey any desire to do that?
Yes. He said that he was probably going to have a shootout at the stake of both of them losing their lives.
Sheriff, did they?
It is interesting, Glotron, which I think Tawny L was also mentioning that. Very good point that the 2008 case? Yes, of Christy Shelton, who was Casey White's girlfriend at the time, unalived herself, supposedly, and her case has been reopened because Casey White was there. Shot herself with a sawed-off shotgun. And Casey was there and he's like, oh my word, she unalived herself. And now we have this situation again. And if it had gone his way, he would have lived out that fantasy that he wanted with his ex-girlfriend of like, you know, I'm going to kill her and then I'm just going to, police shootout. I mean, if the car hadn't flipped on its side, he would have done that. Absolutely. So I'm actually glad that no one else was harmed in this because this could have gone really, really badly.
Have a plan? Were they trying to get somewhere? Obviously, he wanted to escape.
Their plan was pretty faulty. They're criminals. Their plan was faulty, and it failed. Thank God.
Say anything about why she shot herself?
Well, no. And once again, what was going through her mind, I have no idea.
Sheriff, did he express how long that relationship had gone on between the two?
And that's under our investigation. We're not going to divulge that right now.
Sheriff, did he express any remorse for her death?
No.
Did you get the sense they were...
As you saw there, did he express any remorse for her death? No. None whatsoever. Wow. I mean, he didn't look happy, of course. I don't think he knows how to look happy, but he didn't look happy in his new mugshot, which I hope you saw. I made some YouTube shorts about it. I made some TikTok, some tweets, some Instagram posts, and I've also put in my timeline that I released earlier, so I hope you'll check it out if you haven't yet. I worked very hard on that for you guys, so it's from A to B. You can always look at it like, wait, what happened from where and when and how? The bank shot's on there, but if you looked at it, he looks tired and angry. A little bit sad, just a little bit, but it doesn't look like remorse, right? That's not the face of remorse. What do you think?
Actually doing this together. He was not forcing her in any way.
Right. No, he was not forcing her. It was a mutual relationship.
That's what I'm
Sheriff,
thinking,
can you
Gina.
clarify where she shot herself?
Well, we'll let the coroner talk about that after the pathology this afternoon.
When is that coroner's report expected?
Well, we think that that's what we're going to initiate.
Interesting. That is a good speculation, Mysterious. Someone speculating might have said Miss White as opposed to my wife. That makes so much sense. Oh my word. I just got a little bit of goosebumps there because I'm like, yeah, Miss White shot herself, not my wife. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they was honeymooning it up. Mm-hmm.
The autopsy be conducted this afternoon, and they'll put a report out when they're ready.
Hey, Sheriff, you don't know how they got the Cadillac. How did you guys know to look for a Cadillac?
Yes.
No, we saw the Cadillac in surveillance video at the time they ditched the pickup truck, and then they left in the Cadillac.
Is he cooperating? Will he be facing any charges here?
We're not going to charge him here. He has much more serious charges in Alabama, and we want to get him down there and let them take care of that.
Were any drugs found, Sheriff?
We haven't found any drugs of any significance.
Sheriff, you run a...
So they didn't find any drugs of significance, because I was wondering, like, do they have the meth that he supposedly needs? Do they have any psychiatric drugs for him? What do they have, to try to keep him stable, seeing as he's been described as so unstable and not coping on the outside? Interesting.
Jail. How do you feel that somebody that works in the jail, of course not the jail, but somebody that works in the jail did this?
Well, it's certainly unpleasant thought, and it's kind of shocking that somebody would do that. But remember, they're human beings, that they have their own minds, and for whatever reason, that they've developed some type of relationship, and so it's startling. But, they're humans, make mistakes.
Sheriff, how many law enforcement vehicles were damaged?
Maybe 3 at most. And that's a small price to pay to stop a murderer.
Were any officers hurt?
Just one had a slight head injury from banging his head inside the vehicle, but he's okay now.
Where did she get the gun that she used on herself?
What's that?
Where did she get the gun that she used on
Well,
herself?
I have no idea. If we could have had one from her agency, they could have stolen some, they could have bought some, and that's where we're going to piece all together. If you want to look, here's the picture of the vehicle. Here's his and hers vehicle here.
Pen in Pink, apparently, when Casey got out of the car after the wreck, after Vicky had allegedly unalived herself, we say allegedly at this point, we're waiting for the autopsy results. It seems so. That's what the U.S. Marshals are saying, the sheriff. But they're waiting for the autopsy results to confirm it. He got out the vehicle and said, my wife shot herself. I didn't do it. But it makes sense now if he would have actually said Miss White. That makes sense. That's a very good speculation. Because my wife is like, wait, what? Are you trying to sound as delusional as possible? Or what?
And this was a ditch that really nobody knew, including the suspects. But this ditch actually helped us in the pursuit. Because
Amazing.
as they forcibly rammed the vehicles, it turned over on its side, and that disrupted his plan to try to have a shootout with law enforcement. And he even made that statement.
Things like this don't happen very often.
You say they found drugs. When asked about drugs, they said nothing of significance. So I don't know if they found any, or does it mean small amounts, or does it mean none at all?
Speak to that, just kind of what this was like for you, your department, as well everyone here?
Well, you remember in law enforcement, you can be a town like in Posey County where a deputy was shot in the head. You can be in New York City. You can be in Evansville, Indiana. Crime's everywhere. Unexpected crime, violent crime is everywhere. So we never go to work thinking we're not going to encounter an unusual or serious situation. Like I said, our task force members routinely go out and arrest violent felons, murderers, and they get shot at, and they get attacked, and they get resisted. We get involved in pursuits. We're in a very dangerous occupation. And Evansville, Indiana is a fairly large community. I think people forget that. We're 180,000 people, and we're a hub of a very large demographic area, so we serve a population base of over 350,000 people. And it's conducive for criminal activity. And we have to prepare for that every single day.
It does give me Doug Carter vibes too. Yes. Bill Bradley says maybe he has some POT in case it triggers YouTube. Maybe because he seemed pretty chilled, but he also may have had quite the concussion, or I don't know, gotten a fright that his whole plan failed and he was now on his side. Maybe injured, subdued that way. I'm not too sure. Yeah, he says of any significance, that means yes, they had some drugs. That's true. I would like to know what. Could be interesting.
Do you know anything about the provenance of any of those weapons? Is it possible that any of them
I know that's very quiet.
service as a corrections officer?
It could be, but right now we will continue our investigation, but that's the least of my worries at this time. But we will try to find an origin for each and every one of these weapons.
Because he's asking, the question is, do you know where they could have gotten all these weapons? Because earlier he said they could have bought them, they could have stolen some. They're still going to look into it. So the investigation will be continuing.
During his cooperative interview last night, did he say anything along the lines of who planned this and how much planning?
Yeah, but I'm not going to get into the interview with the detectives.
What about the money? Where did the money come from? Do we know that?
Well, she supposedly maybe sold a home before she left town and got a large sum of money from that.
You can hear it now. He's being a little bit aloof. He doesn't really want to answer all these detailed questions, of course, because they're still busy with the investigation. I really hope that we'll learn a lot, in the future about all this, like more details. It would be very interesting. Deb Becker, thank you for your $4.99 super sticker. Possibly she could not stomach a shootout with fellow law enforcement officers. Maybe she thought, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I think it would also be a feeling of tremendous shame. And shame can be quite a killer, huh? Because to think of facing your mother, your colleagues, the sheriff, everyone who knew you after all this, and it wasn't all that long. I mean, an 11-day runaway. Wow. Yeah. I know.
Was it what?
Immature.
I think she may have had a little bit of communication with our dispatch, possibly. I wasn't aware of it 100%, but I think she may have been talking to our dispatch.
Smoking Marlboros and wacky, after a little rolling around.
That's from her duty belt. This is her duty belt she wore as a confinement officer, correction officer in her home state of Alabama.
See, her duty belt. That's what he called it. So maybe she had that on the whole time, of course, and that's how she, even if she was driving, had it on her waist the whole time. Crashed the vehicle. She said, "I've got my finger on the trigger," as you heard.
She just took that with her when she left.
Were those in the hotel room or the car? The guns.
In the car? In the car. They were in the vehicle.
Hey, Sheriff, after you guys seen the initial video at the car wash, what was the indication? How did you guys figure out that they were still maybe in the area?
Well, it was a long, drawn-out process, like the police chief said. It's just bits and pieces of information kept coming in and tying things together, and it wasn't till over the weekend where it looked like more of a possibility that they had been.
We're almost through this. I looked now on Facebook, Sherry, but it doesn't look like an axe. It looks like a holster strap as well. Yes.
In here for sure. And once again, after 6 days, it was just hard to believe they were here. I wouldn't think somebody on the run would stay in a community like Evansville for 6 days. But we brought the resources in and continued our investigation based on the information we had.
Yes.
No, he's just in a holding area.
Now, they were at the hotel for quite a long time. Is there any indication at all that maybe the clerk or someone who works there knew it was them? I mean, this is a nationwide manhunt.
Max sound.
Well, I mean, we don't have any reason to believe that right now. But once again, we're less than 24 hours in this investigation. We have a lot more of the puzzle to put together. So
How many days was the surveillance at the hotel?
just yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. A very short window of time. He had a couple of bumps and bruises from the crash. Yeah.
Sheriff, can you confirm that there's a Facebook video that was circulating at side angle of the arrest actually taking place? Can you confirm that it was Casey White in that video?
I haven't seen the video, but Casey White was at the scene, so you got that for sure.
He's got some snarkiness, huh? He's got that hint of snarkiness. Yes, he was at the scene because, like, did you actually arrest him? He's like, well, he was at the scene, so yep, you got that right.
Can we get JPEGs of those posters so that we can actually have a digital version of that, what you're showing us?
Possibly, yeah.
Sheriff, what was the approximate time after the crash that I think you shot?
I think it was almost instantaneously. Yeah. Before our deputies and task force members got to the vehicle, she had shot herself.
So you heard it there. Before they got to the vehicle, she'd already shot herself. So very soon after the crash.
Yeah, I got it written down here. So. Motel 41. Yes, probably less than a mile south of here.
North, Dave, it's actually to your left.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. To the left. I'm sorry.
They probably, thank you, Leah, for your $4.99 super sticker. They probably thought the town was so small that they'd never get caught there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They probably were just like, Evansville. They'll never know. We could literally stay in a motel right across the road from the sheriff's department. They'll never know. I don't know if you guys saw my YouTube short. I hope you'll check it out. It's like, how will they know? They'll never know. But yeah, they'll know. They found out. Thanks to James, the car wash man. Exactly.
Was that F-150 pre-purchase
She had bought that vehicle. Yes.
in Tennessee or Alabama?
I don't know where she may have bought it in the state of Tennessee. I'm not sure.
But did she purchase it ahead of the escape?
No, I think after.
Sorry, the marshal said that car was actually purchased by Casey White for $6,000 in Tennessee, same day they escaped. Is that not accurate?
That's probably accurate. Yeah.
That mugshot. That YouTube short. How will they know?
Everybody okay with that? And I know you've asked a lot of questions, and as the sheriff, I think they're good media-related questions, but we're trying to take dangerous people off the street, and so a lot of the where they bought the car and where they did this and that is a minor concern versus us getting them off the street and making our community safe. Now, this investigation will go on maybe for weeks, and we will uncover things in the future that we don't have at this time. But like I said, we're less than 24 hours from the time that we were involved in pursuit and a serious crash and somebody losing their life.
Sheriff, which agencies are involved in the investigation at this point?
Several. We have the United States Marshal, the Indiana State Police, the Evansville Police Department, the Vanderbilt County Sheriff's Office, many members of law enforcement from Alabama, Mississippi, some members of the FBI, and probably agencies in between. So there's plenty of agencies involved.
Sheriff, is someone from law enforcement or any of the people behind you who were involved in
Thank you, 11 loops and more for your 199 super sticker. Any mention of assistance, the Brotherhood, so sad. No mention of. When they ask questions, it seems like, nope, it's just them. But apparently, we'll look at that update now. Brian Hinton tweeted that he went, out there to the motel where they were staying to investigate it. And there'll allegedly be a News Nation segment coming out soon about him walking around there. And he said that apparently they got help to check in for those 14 days. It's not like them walking there with their, IDs or whatever, that they got help to check in. So I don't know if that's true or not at this point. That's speculation, but very interesting.
Her assistant was 17-year veteran of the corrections facility. How did that help this and take so long?
I'm not understanding your question.
As someone involved in law enforcement, Vicky White is a 17-year-long corrections officer. Presumably,
He's asking if Vicky White, being in law enforcement, she was an assistant director at a correctional center, if that would have helped her in any of this planning or the getaway. Let's see how he answers.
had something to do with why it took so long, over a week, 11 days, for this to come to an end. I'm asking, with her...
It's actually a smart question. We'll get to his answer now, because it's like, instead of saying, why did it take you guys so long to find them, if James, the car wash manager, actually tipped you off long ago, now it's asking it the other way around. Okay, well then, do you think that Vicky, having worked at this correctional center for so many years, do you think that gave her this like edge, to get away for so long?
Expertise and contributed and how?
No, that has absolutely no merit to what went on. Zero.
So it means like she's not credible. That's what I feel like he's saying. Nope, no merit at all.
Sheriff, I'm sorry. The photos that you're releasing today, are they going to be posted on your Facebook page or?
We'll have photos available for media later. Yes. Does anybody else need to comment? Anybody have anything you want to say, or anybody have any questions of the other law enforcement leaders here? No, not to see the vehicle in person, no.
Angela Carpenter, thank you for your $4.99 super sticker and for supporting the channel.
What's that? I don't know if we do. If we do, we can maybe release that. That's not a big deal. It's a wig, a standard wig.
What kind of wig?
This? Oh yeah, sure. You guys want to take those over there? I think there was multiple wigs, kind of like maybe reddish and blonde. Yeah, you wouldn't look good in it.
Reddish and blonde.
Well, we thank you. If anybody needs any other questions from anybody, everybody will be mingling around for a while. And once again, keep in mind, less than 24 hours, there's a lot of questions that won't be answered until we have a much deeper investigation, get all of our notes and material together, and we also have privileged information that we can't share. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you. You all right?
Bow, chicka, wow. Adult store wig. And that's that, everyone. And that's that. Does anyone want to see the footage again of Casey at the car wash? Do you want to watch it again, guys? Just let me know. I will remove it for now. I want to show you this. This is a close-up of the arsenal of weapons that they had. Look at it. Let's look at these as well. There's a picture of the cash. Oh boy. Showing the mugshot. She wanted to be Ariel at the beach. Sorry, I'm going through it fast because I'm trying to find something. Hold on. The mugshot. We want to find the mugshot. Wait, let's find it quickly for you. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. It won't be too long. There we go. Oh boy. There it is. I think disgust is a good one. Stephanie was saying disgust. He's disgusted that he's back in the hole. And now he's not even going to get any more biscuits. And he has to start all over again to woo somebody. And he's just not having it. Wow. Very interesting, right? Just look at it. Thank you so much, Janie Child. Gives us Patreon is the bomb. Patreon's like a whole nother world that lots of people don't know what goes on there. But it's very fun, right? They're like, what is going on there on Patreon? Well, the curiosity can be solved with a click of a button. Well, this is what I'm thinking. Why would she buy a blonde wig to disguise herself as a blonde? Well, it makes as much sense as anything else in the plan. We're also going to do a bit of map time. Yeah, Mr. Grizzly. I ran in there 2 a.m. Yes, I did. And I'm like, guess what? Him and Fury are like, what? I'm like, guess what? And yeah, he was just like, oh my word. He's like, wow, you were live streaming. He was just so like excited that like you were live streaming when this happened. I'm like, yes. He's like, what? That's epic. So that's what he said. Can't believe I was actually live streaming when that all went down. My goodness. Reddish blonde. That's what I'm thinking. Reddish blonde could be something like strawberry blonde. Could be. Yes, we'd love to hear the tape of Vicky's phone call to the police. Well, so would I. Has anyone got that? No one has that. We only have the scanner, the voice on the scanner just talking about her, but we don't have that. Hey, if you find that, please send it to me. But I don't think they've released that at all to the public. Can you imagine? I don't know if they ever will. Do you think they will? Yeah, both of you saying, oh my word. Yes. Probably bought. That's what I'm thinking. I'm still so curious. Like, what did she buy at that adult store? I will not rest until I know, because it determines a lot. Like, what do they get up to in that hotel room? Like, what kind are they? You know, I don't know. I'm just so curious, and so I'm thinking it's the wigs, though. I'm thinking it's the wigs. Imagine it. Betty gets loose again from the Alabama. Imagine if he goes back there, and there's another lady that he could be like, hey, imagine it. Yeah, you know what they say about those big ear guys. Imagine if it's the opposite, though. The big reveal. And then it isn't. That'll be funny. Oh, my word. We've got to wait for the trial. Exactly, Tony L. We've got to wait for the trial. I think it's time for a quick commercial break. And then I know we have to do some map time as well, just so that we can walk around there a little bit as well. Right? So let's do that. Let's do a commercial break first. Welcome to Grizzly True Crime, established June 2021. Thank you for watching. Viewing Grizzly videos is a great source of support, and it's free. There are other 100% free ways to support Grizzly True Crime. Like, subscribe, and share. Other fantastic ways to support the channel would be, for example, becoming a member. Click the join button or the link below. During a live stream or premiere, you can buy a super chat or super sticker by clicking that button right there. The most direct way to support the channel would of course be through PayPal, link below. Join the Grizzly Patreon community for exclusive content. There are 3 tiers to choose from. I am a true crime author, so you could get my ebooks, audiobooks, or paperbacks, and I also offer you notebooks or journals. buymeacoffee.com/Gisela K. Need I say more? You know I love coffee. Get yourself some Grizzly merch, and if you post a picture of yourself in it, remember to tag me so that I can share it too. My merch shelf is now also active right below this video. If not, just click the link in the description box. If you haven't yet, join us Grizzlies on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. We have a really great community on all those platforms as well. Thank you so much for watching, and now let's get back to the live stream or video. Okay, before we do map time, just to show you around that car wash and the motel, you see this, Brian Inton over here said, this is the motel where Casey and Vicky White stayed in Evansville. I'll zoom in for you, hold on. Yes. Manager insists they are not the ones who checked in. He says someone else checked in for them. Only says it was a local guy. Says police told him not to give out a name. And then here he's updated one says, sheriff says it was a homeless man that Vicky and Casey paid to rent the room. I mean, how much did you pay him? $70,000? I really hope the car wash guy will get the reward. I really hope so. It would be really great if he did, right? So yes, and then Brian Inton was walking around the motel here, but it's a bit grainy, the footage, as he's there. So we'll look out for his video at some point. So that's what's happening there. And then I know it's map time just about. I just quickly want to zoom out of here. This is like, whoa, I can just hold on. Let's just quickly look if there's any other updates. Thank you for being here, everyone. I hope that you will hit the thumbs up. I see there's people leaving now. Where you going? Where y'all going? Please hit the thumbs up if you're going, but don't go. We're almost there. I just want to see. So let's just see the latest news. Total Cheese Den Motel. Like icky, right? Apparently it's like 2.5 star. I don't know. Did Casey express any remorse for Vicky's death? Sheriff, no. Okay, I'm just looking. Yeah, there's not too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is put myself here. Put the little map on. I think you guys like the map time song a lot. So here we go. Okay. I suppose I can make myself slightly bigger. All right. So let's quickly have a look at this. So if we look here, of course, I'm just zooming out so you can see. I mean, this entire journey is 5 hours and 10 minutes. They're like, oh, I'm so tired. We have to rest for 14 days. Like what? What? From Lauderdale County Correction Center to where the Ford Edge was abandoned because it allegedly had mechanical problems, and then they tried to spray paint it, which looked very interesting as well, like what was going on there. And then somehow they bought a Ford F-150, even though the U.S. Marshals had said through the grapevine that the car was actually stolen, but now they say no, they bought it. So okay, they bought it somewhere in Tennessee and then headed for Evansville. Now if we look at Evansville, we're going to go right here to the car wash. At the car wash, everyone. And we're going to put the little man down right here. So we're zooming in. Okay, little man. There we go. And we're going to look around. So look at this area, firstly. Look at this area. It's like a residential area. And then there's this car wash. This is it. This is it. I'm saying it because, like, just look at what they were doing. Like, if you now look at the footage of Casey and just this, and you're just like thinking, what is he actually doing? Huh? Right? What is going on here? So let's just go like this. A lot of roadworks going on. I'm going to go down here. You're driving with Gina. Apparently he was parked in this first bay. So if you look at it from this side. All right, look at it like this. Weinbach car wash. The video footage that we looked at was from this one. So if you missed that in the beginning of the episode, it's from, he was allegedly parked in this first bay. Yeah. And maybe they just thought there's no cameras around here or something. Probably. Pretty presumptuous booking a room for 2 weeks. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, you could see it from all the footage. You know, when Brian Enton was there as well, speaking with James Stinson. Let's go down here. Ooh. I'm going around the corner just to have a look, you know, just to have a look. We want to peep. We want to turn, yeah, we want to go a little further and peep. Okay, there we go. Just to look at it. So he, oh, sorry. You guys are like, yeah, car wash song. So he was in this bay here. I'm pretty sure he thought, you know, there's not going to be cameras here. Well, James was on it. He's got his cameras here. Yes, he does. You know, a corrections officer and a career criminal. Didn't notice any cameras, right? Oh, my word. Apparently, she drove in with the Cadillac and picked him up in it, and they just left the Ford there with the keys in the ignition. What? And apparently also a gun case, but no gun in it. Wow. Interesting. So, yeah, this is literally it. If you walk around here, I mean, here's a thrift store. I mean, they could have left the vehicle freaking anywhere. Even here, I don't know, just like at the thrift store. But no, they have to leave it at the car wash. I mean, and in the way, to the point where James had to have it towed himself. Glitter is gone. Why the secrecy? This guy has 75 years pending now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, working at the car wash. Yes, it's so weird that they stayed. Yeah, even at Walmart. Leave the car at Walmart. Leave it at a shopping center. I mean, I don't know. Leave it at the motel. What are you doing at the car wash in the first place? He allegedly didn't even wash the car. It was just to ditch the car. Oh, that's just so crazy. I mean, a lot doesn't make sense. Yeah, hiding that truck in front of a camera. Hide that truck. First, open the doors, both doors, and then wedge yourself in between while fiddling with a gun. Because that makes sense. And then just walk around all shady, look around, and then like walk away from the vehicle. Key still in the ignition. Key still in. I mean, am I understanding correctly that he left it in the car wash bay? Which is also why James had to have it towed, because like, hello, business needs to continue. Auto sale across the street. Keep the car and drive separately. Oh my word. Yes, always better late than never. Okay, so let's go back here quickly and then we'll look at where everything really unfolded. So that's the car wash. And now if we go a little bit north, Covert Avenue. Ooh, okay. Undercover. Covert operations, everyone. Oh my word. So and then they went north. Maybe they stopped at the McDonald's. How do we know? Like, what did they eat for all that time? Did they order in? Did they have food delivered? Did they actually go out with a wig on, you know? Fancy new department store clothing. Motel 41. It's been renamed, apparently. It's still, when I search it, it says Motel 41, but it's like Motel 6, I see. So if we just put the little man here, see, now we can look around. Now we can look around. This is where they stayed. Huh? Interesting. I think we could drive in there a little bit. Let's try. We're going in, guys. I love driving around with you guys. Hi. We want to go in here. No, it doesn't want us to. Okay, we'll go more this way. The Google man is like, no, that is not authorized. So now hiring as well. I mean, Casey could have applied for a job there too. Maybe that was their plan. They're hiring. We've run out of money. We've just bought too many things. I don't know what they bought. Yeah, COVID undercover in the Motel 41. Let's role play, Miss White. Anyway, so this is the motel. I mean, even leave the car there. Because leaving the car at the car wash is what even drew attention to them there. So they leave the car. They go to the car wash. That's already weird. Then they leave the car with the keys in the ignition at the car wash, allegedly in the bay, from what I'm understanding. Nevertheless, in the way, even if not in the bay, in the way. I think he left it there, though. And then have Vicky White pick you up in a Cadillac. Take that Cadillac, go here, park the Cadillac. Why couldn't you just leave the car here? No one would have known for a while longer. Oh, my word. Leaving the truck with a nose sticking out. Yep. Motel 41. How unromantic. I know, right? And then let's look at where this scene, the car chase scene, because you see the Cadillac that was seen on the surveillance footage by James was then the U.S. Marshals were like, wait a minute, did you tow a Ford F-150? He's like, yep. It's like, do you think that's Casey? He's like, yep. Like, this is the surveillance footage. I called it in. I thought it was him. And then because of the surveillance footage that James had, they started looking for that Cadillac. And it was parked here at this motel. So they started doing, by what I understand, a bit of a stakeout. And Vicky White left this motel with a wig on. Apparently then Casey also left. I don't know if she was like, I still want to know more details. It sounds more like, oh, crap, they're watching us. And then I go in to call him and like, get in the vehicle, we have to go. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. And then this car chase happened. So they went north. They didn't go very far. They went north. Okay. Here's Anchor Industries. So they say they turn into this Anchor Industries gate. So I'm still wondering, it looks like this is the gate. You know, did they go in here and around, or in and around like this, or either way, this way? Okay. And here, if you look at Baumgart, I'm going to say it in the German way, Baumgart Road. Hold on. It's at the intersection of this Baumgart and Birch Park Drive, is what they said. So that would be here. It's literally here, where they were rammed by the U.S. Marshals. The car was flipped on its side in a ditch. So yeah, that's literally it. Really, they didn't get very far. Birch Park Drive, Baumgart, at the intersection. Yes. So I mean, is it like, I'm not sure right now. I think it's like this ditch, right? It's this ditch. They could have not known the area. A cop spotted the car at the hotel. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Does kind of look like maybe he had eyeliner on. What? Did he have eyeliner on? Oh my word. I think it was in this ditch. Not much of a car chase, I know. 70 miles per hour, but not very far either. So if I take away this, and go from there, I mean, 3.8 miles. Not very far. And it's not even, let's take away Baumgart as well. Let's go like that. 3 miles. Why Evansville? There's nothing to do there. Maybe that's why they thought they could hide out there for very, very long and never be caught. They were making them sound smarter than she was. They were making Vicky, I'm assuming he's trying to say. Yeah. I think we all thought she was a little smarter than what it turned out. So it makes me wonder if perhaps her mental health should have been evaluated. Instead of a fake appointment, maybe her mental health should have been evaluated. Maybe. Or, I don't know, in that state, to me, the decisions that were made, especially at this point when they got to Evansville, it's almost as if she's like checked out, like mentally, just how things went, you know? Maybe she really just saw him for what he was instead of what she saw for 2 years. Maybe she was super anxious. Maybe she was traumatized at that point. We just don't know. It just seems, it seems a bit odd, all these decisions that then followed. Even maybe to say, why don't you go to the car wash? I mean, she's a corrections officer. So instead of thinking, okay, Vicky wasn't very smart, maybe she was. Maybe that was kind of her cry for help of like, you go to the car wash, I'll come and pick you up, because maybe she knew there would be surveillance footage, and eventually, like, let's just hang out at the motel. Maybe she thought, don't worry, they're going to come and get me. But then with that car chase and everything that happened, maybe, as someone said, she really thought there was going to be a whole law enforcement shootout and she wouldn't be able to deal with that. It's either that or shame, or he did it, which is a very small possibility. Yes. Yeah, the car wash owner called the cops last Tuesday. Exactly, on the 3rd. That's another one. Wondering if she had a terminal illness and told no one. That could also be possible. She had... Wait, it's like Sasquatchitis. Sasquatchitis. Maybe. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I think her life looked very lonely, and this must have been something exciting to do, you know? Just something reckless and exciting. Unfortunately, it didn't actually have to cost her life. She, well, allegedly shot herself. We're yet to find that out. Yes. Did it freeze? When? Distance across the street. Distance across the street from the motel? I don't know. Where is it? They just say it's right across from the motel. I don't know. Vanderburgh County. Let's just see where that is. Oh. That's a little further. Okay, like that. Wait, so let's go. Let's clear this. I mean, that's 2.1 miles, but right across the street, you could see it from there. Interesting. Sorry, am I in the way? Sorry. Vanderburg County Sheriff's Department is right here. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. Thank you for sticking around here. You guys are very loyal and devoted viewers. Thank you so much. You've been like probably as exhausted as me. So here it is, and they say from one of these, from here, probably from this side, somewhere from here, you can actually in the distance see the motel. I mean, it's far-ish. It's far-ish, but yes. I mean, 2 miles is all the way around, so it can't be too far like this. I don't have Google Earth open right now. This is Google Maps, so I can't see the direct as the crow flies distance, but it's probably like half a mile. Crazy to be so close to the cop station, right? Yeah, I don't think she could face fellow law enforcement. Like all her colleagues, her mother, everything. Again, that gives me that vibe of like, I don't know, like a sexual element, you know? Something where it's just like, oh no, I can't let anyone see me like this type of thing, you know? Anyway, yeah, OGs are royal, I was saying. Loyal and royal. Last place they would look. No more extra biscuits for him. So I hope you enjoyed the debrief today. Let's put this off and go back to prison. All right, sorry, I can't see with this light in the way. Like that. I'm going to do one more check quickly here just to see what is going on Twitter. Yes, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being here. You guys keep me going. Without you, I don't know if I'd have the energy to do all this. You guys keep me going. I get so excited to prepare things for you. I mean, all these clips and presentations and things. So if you want to say things, hit the thumbs up. If you want to say super thanks, there's a button for that. Can you believe it? Or, of course, PayPal, buy me a coffee, all that stuff. Okay, let's just say Fox News. Yes, okay. What else is happening here? I'm just looking if there's anything new. I don't see anything there. Let's look one more time at Brian Hinton. Vicky was Correctional Officer of the Year, I think. She was literally next month supposed to get her award for Correctional Officer of the Year. Richard, thank you for your $25. How did I miss that? Wait. I gotta go up. Thank you for your $25 super sticker. I really appreciate it. I missed it. There it is. Thank you so much. Okay, what does Brian say? Here's our latest story. Okay, well, we're going to have to watch this now. What's going on with the latest story? Just hold on, guys. Hold on. We might as well.
The Vicky and Casey White manhunt ended in this crash, and now we're getting our first look at what was inside the getaway car. $29,000 in cash and an AR-15, 4 handguns, a taser, and multiple rounds of ammo. The Vanderburg, Indiana County Sheriff says it all would have ended much, much worse if they hadn't done the pit maneuver and stopped the couple.
And we later found out, had they not done that, the fugitive was going to engage in a shootout with law enforcement.
The sheriff says Vicky White was shot and killed. He says all indications are she took her own life, but he can't say for sure until the coroner finishes his investigation. This is what dispatchers were saying on the radio.
We could hear her on the line saying she had her finger on the trigger. Shot victim. Female is still armed.
Detectives say the couple was staying at this motel just across the street from the sheriff's office. They wore wigs when they were coming in and out. The manager says he never saw them, and it was a local person who rented the room.
And they did not even use fake ID or nothing. Somebody else checked in officially, and then they were visiting them, technically.
New video also coming from the car wash where Vicky and Casey were first spotted in Evansville. You can see Casey standing behind the truck door. The manager of the car wash, James Stinson, believes he was grabbing a gun. Later in the video, you see Vicky pull up in this Cadillac and pick Casey up before they abandon the truck. James, the manager of the car wash, has been talking exclusively with News Nation. Here's what he told Adrian Bankert today on Morning in America.
I walked up to the truck, and the windows were down, which I thought was odd. I've never had that happen. And I thought, oh, my God, this could be that guy from Alabama. So I was kind of afraid to look over in the vehicle, thinking he might be in there asleep, or dead, passed out, overdosed, whatever. But I finally did look in it. The keys were inside in the ignition.
Okay, back to what was happening at this motel behind me where Vicky and Casey were staying. It was interesting to learn today from the manager. He says that it was another person, a local man, who rented them that room, and he was sure of it. He says it definitely wasn't Vicky or Casey in disguise. We went to the sheriff and asked him about that, and he says, yes, they've confirmed it was actually a homeless man who lives in the area that Vicky and Casey paid to rent them the room so they wouldn't have to go into the office and they wouldn't have to be on the surveillance video. Okay, I want to bring in James Stinson now because we've been talking to him for the last several days. He, of course, is the man who is the...
James is in the house, everybody. I just feel like I wish we could give him an actual applause, you know? James is in the house.
The manager at the car wash who really brought all of this together when he spotted the truck and then looked at his surveillance video and saw that it was, in fact, Casey and Vicky at his car wash. Listen, you've become a hero around here. I just looked online. There's a petition. People have started a petition online to get you the reward. What does it feel like today?
I don't know. I'm not so interested in the reward. I'm just glad it come to an end. I'm glad nobody got hurt. I'm glad he's in custody. I'm glad he's on his way back.
There's also people online encouraging people in Evansville to come to your car wash. Has it been busier today? Are people coming up to you?
Yeah, I'm having people come to me.
What sort of things are they telling you?
Oh, hero, you done the right thing and stuff like that.
Have the police reached out to you at all? There was a press conference this morning. You were brought up briefly. I pushed them to see if they were going to give you the reward because I know you deserve it because I've seen the video and I know what you went through here. Have they reached out?
No, I haven't talked to any of them.
And how do you feel?
I just seen the press conference like you did.
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I'm glad I'm glad they're all safe. Nobody's hurt. No big shootout. Everything's fine.
It was interesting this morning. I was out at the car wash at 6 this morning, and you were there. Right. And I looked over, and you were sweeping, and you were emptying the trash.
What I do on a daily basis, every day.
I mean, that just struck me. I mean, here you are, the hero of the city, and you're out doing your normal routine.
That's right. I'm doing my normal job. That's what I do.
So what do you make of what we've learned now that that Vicky and Casey were staying at this motel right here behind me? I mean, it's literally across the street from the sheriff's office. What did you think when you learned that?
It's mind-blowing, hidden in plain sight. It's just, and staying that length of the time. But I hear they were wore out. They're ready to rest. I still think they're on the way north to Canada, but I could be wrong.
Vicky White passed away. The sheriff believes it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but they're still waiting on the coroner to confirm that. I mean, obviously there's mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure her family's having it tough. Her friends, she probably didn't want to go by and face all that, which is understandable.
Well, I mean, I met your daughter yesterday and your family. They're all very proud of you. They were also out at the car wash. What's your plan moving forward?
I just want to do my everyday thing, get back to my normal routine.
Yeah, you're not comfortable with all this attention so much.
No, not at all. I don't like a lot of attention. Boy, I got my share.
Well, you deserve the attention, James. And
he's so cute. That's it. Oh my word. I'm gonna do my best to find, if you find it before me, the petition, then I'm gonna pin it in the comments afterwards. So I'll have a look now if I can find it. He's so cute. Oh my word. And Ben was saying, get him on YouTube, but it sounds like he doesn't like the attention. He just wants to live his normal life. Okay. But he's so adorable. We all like, oh my word. Was it Greg, right? I think you emailed me today saying he's a grizzly at heart. I really hope so. He seems like a grizzly at heart. He's so nice. Oh my word. So yes, that is it now. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. As I say here, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment below. Please do share. Use the clip feature. There's a cool little clip feature. Use the little share button to share on Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want to, WhatsApp, I don't know. Whatever you got, it's always great to boost the episode. If you wouldn't mind giving my episode that I released today a little bit of love as well, if you could also hit the thumbs up there and just, maybe watch it while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, and while you're napping. I'll put you to sleep today. No, it's a nice episode. I hope that you will check it out, give it some love. I worked very hard on it as well. And I'm going to get some rest. Exactly. Thank you. Who said that, see? Denise, get some rest. And that's how I hear it, because it's all in capitals. Get some rest, woman. I'm going to get some rest. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you being here with me. I mean, I would be as excited, covering this case, but it makes it so much nicer when there's so many people supporting me and here to live it with me. It's what an insane case that was. And we'll keep an eye on it. If there's any significant updates, of course, I'll let you know. Make sure you follow me on all my social media. All the links are in the description box below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, because I do a lot of updates there as well. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the super chats, the super stickers, to all the members whose names are highlighted in the chat in green. Thank you to all my mods. You did such a great job, not even on slow mode. Oh, my word, you guys are amazing. So thank you so much, and I will see you very soon.